The night sky was quiet, but Maria could not sleep. She often looked at the stars from her small balcony, wondering if something out there was alive, watching humans the same way humans watch the stars. Her neighbors laughed at her questions, and her friends told her she watched too many movies. But Maria felt something different in her heart. She believed the universe was not empty. One evening, as she stood under the dark sky, the air around her suddenly shifted. The crickets stopped singing, the streetlights flickered, and the silence grew heavy. Her chest tightened. A strange sound, like a low hum, vibrated in her ears. She looked up and froze. Something massive and silent blocked out the stars above her. It was not a plane. It was not a satellite. It was something she had never seen before. The object moved slowly, almost like it was floating without effort. For a moment, Maria could not move. Her instincts told her to run, but her legs refused to listen. The hum grew louder, filling her bones. Then, in a flash of pale blue light, the world around her vanished. Maria gasped. She was no longer on her balcony. Cold air touched her skin, and she stood inside a vast room. The walls glowed faintly, smooth like glass, but alive with strange, shifting colors. She saw no doors, no windows, only endless space that seemed to breathe. Her heart raced as she whispered, "Where am I?" A voice answered, not in sound, but inside her mind. "Human, you are here." Maria spun around, searching. And then she saw them. Figures moved forward, tall and thin, their bodies glowing faint silver. Their faces had no clear eyes, no mouth, yet she felt their gaze cutting into her. They looked fragile, like shadows wrapped in light, but their presence was heavy, pressing against her chest. "You fear," one of them said in her mind. "Your feelings are loud." Maria swallowed hard. "What do you want from me?" The aliens tilted their heads in unison. Their movements were too perfect, too strange. "We study, we learn. Humanity believes its emotions are strength, but we know emotions are weakness." Maria clenched her fists, anger mixing with fear. That's not true. The beings laughed not with sound, but with a cold ripple inside her skull. It felt cruel, like needles scratching her thoughts. Humans fight because of feelings. Humans cry because of feelings. Humans destroy themselves because of feelings. We are above this. We are pure. You are broken. Their words hit her like knives. She wanted to scream back, but her throat felt locked. The beings circled around her like hunters playing with prey. One leaned closer, its silver form bending like liquid. "Show us, human. Show us why your feelings matter. Show us why your fury is not weakness." Maria's breath shook, deep inside. Anger burned. It mocked her, mocked everything human: love, pain, joy, and sorrow. They treated emotions as dirt, but she knew they were wrong. Her voice broke free, sharp and shaking. "You don't understand? Feelings are what make us alive. We suffer, but we love. We fall, but we rise. Without emotions, we are nothing but empty machines." The room pulsed as if reacting to her words. The beings moved back slightly, their glow flickering for the first time. Maria's heart pounded faster. She had touched something inside them, something they did not expect. But then the largest of them stepped forward. Its body shimmered brighter, casting long shadows around her. "We will test you," it said, voice deep and cold. "We will see if emotions can survive against us." Suddenly, the floor beneath Maria shifted. The smooth walls stretched high, reshaping into an arena. The air grew heavy, vibrating with strange energy. From the other side of the arena, forms began to rise, twisted shapes with glowing eyes, beasts made of the same silver light as the aliens. Their bodies were long, their teeth sharp, and they crawled toward her with unnatural speed. Maria stumbled back. "No, wait." The aliens' voices echoed inside her head. "Fight. Show us your emotions, or fall and prove us right." Maria's breath came in fast bursts. She had no weapons, no armor, just her bare hands, her fear, and her burning fury. But deep down, she knew this was not only about her survival. This was about humanity itself. If she failed, they would believe. Humans were weak, nothing more than broken creatures of emotion. Her fists tightened, her eyes locked on the creatures moving closer. Her pulse roared like thunder in her ears. For the first time in her life, Maria felt something awaken inside. Her stronger than fear, she whispered to herself, "They think feelings make us weak. I'll show them feelings make us unstoppable." And as the beasts lunged at her, the room filled with light. And the true test began. The silver beasts charged at Maria with blinding speed. Their glowing eyes burned like fire, and their sharp limbs scraped against the strange floor of the arena. Maria's body screamed for her to run, but there was nowhere to escape. The walls stretched high, smooth as glass, trapping her in. Her heart hammered. She raised her arms in front of her face, expecting the first strike to tear her apart. When the creature leaped, something strange happened. A spark of heat flared inside her chest. Her skin tingled, and a faint glow spread across her hands. The beast slammed into her, but instead of shredding her, it bounced back, howling in a high, metallic screech. Maria stared at her own hands, glowing faint gold. "What? What is this?" she whispered. The aliens outside the arena watched closely. Their silver forms bent and shifted, their voices entering her mind. "Your emotions, they change the field." Fascinating. Anger becomes energy. The beast recovered and lunged again. This time, Maria did not back away. She gritted her teeth, raised her glowing fist, and swung with all her strength. Her fist struck the beast's head, and it shattered like glass, breaking into fragments of silver light that vanished into the air. Maria gasped. She had never been strong, never been a fighter, yet here she was, standing in an alien arena, destroying a monster with her bare hands. But there was no time to rest. Two more beasts crawled out of the shifting floor, their long jaws snapping, their bodies twisting like liquid shadows. They circled her, waiting for her fear to slip. Maria's pulse raced. She felt fear pressing down on her chest, but at the same time, her anger burned hotter. Her fists glowed brighter. "You think fear makes me weak?" she shouted at the aliens. "Fear tells me I'm alive. Fear tells me I must fight to survive." The beasts attacked together. One leapt high, the other low. Maria spun, ducked under the first, and slammed her fist into the second. Light exploded. From her hand, blasting the creature across the arena, it shattered into pieces. She rolled across the floor, barely avoiding the other beast, then pushed herself up and drove her glowing fist straight into its chest. Another burst of golden light filled the arena, and the monster vanished into smoke. Maria stood, chest heaving, sweat dripping down her forehead. Her fists dimmed, but the fire inside her only grew stronger. The aliens whispered among themselves, their voices echoing in her skull like a chorus. "Impossible." The humans' feelings take form, anger, determination. They bend reality inside the field. This should not be. Emotions are chaos. Maria wiped her brow and glared. At them, "You don't understand. Emotions are not chaos, they're power. They are what give us strength when nothing else is left." For a moment, the aliens fell silent. But then, the largest one, the leader, spoke again. "Then prove it, human. You survived our first test, but feelings burn out quickly. Love fades. Anger turns to dust. Show us if your fragile fire can last." The floor shook violently. The arena walls shifted again, rising higher, stretching wider. The air grew heavier, pressing down on Maria's chest like a storm. From the far end of the arena, something enormous began to rise. It was not like the smaller beasts. This one towered above her, 4 times her height, its silver body rippling like liquid steel. Its head split into jagged shapes, and its eyes glowed with a furious red light. When it roared, the entire arena trembled. Maria's throat went dry. Her fists trembled. She had barely managed to fight the smaller creatures. How could she face something this massive? The alien leader's voice cut into her mind. "This is the truth of your weakness. Your emotions will collapse under despair. Your fury will burn away. You will fall, and humanity will be revealed as fragile. Maria's knees threatened to buckle. Fear wrapped around her like chains. For a moment, she wanted to give up. But then, she thought of Earth. She thought of her family, her friends, all the people who laughed, cried, loved, and dreamed. She thought of every child who looked at the stars with hope. If she failed here, the aliens would mock all of humanity. They would call humans weak, broken, worthless. Her fear turned to fire. She raised her fists, glowing brighter than before. Voice rang across the arena. You're wrong. Our feelings don't fade. They grow stronger when we protect what? We love you. Want to see fury? I'll show you fury. The giant beast roared and charged forward, shaking the ground with every step. Maria's heart pounded, her golden light blazing like fire in the darkness. She sprinted toward the monster, screaming with every ounce of strength she had. The collision shook the arena with a blinding flash of light, and the true battle began. The giant beast slammed forward like a falling mountain. Its claws tore through the glowing floor, sending sparks of silver dust into the air. Maria felt the ground shake beneath her feet, but she did not stop. She charged straight at it, her fists burning with golden fire. At the last second, she leaped. The beast's massive claw swung past, missing her by inches. She landed on its arm, gripping tight as her body shook from the creature's strength. With a scream, she drove her glowing fist down again and again into its silver skin. Each strike exploded with sparks of light, but the beast did not fall. Instead, it roared, twisting its huge body and flinging her across the arena. Maria crashed hard against the glowing floor, her body aching. Pain burned through her ribs, and for a moment she could barely breathe. The aliens' voices echoed in her mind. See? The human's flame flickers. Emotions are unstable. We'll break her. She is fragile. She will fail. Maria groaned, pressing her hands against the floor to push herself up. Her fists were no longer glowing. Her body trembled. She could feel doubt creeping in like poison. The giant beast stepped closer, each thundering step shaking her bones. Its red eyes burned down at her, filled with cold hunger. Maria's chest tightened. Maybe they're right, she thought.
Maybe.
I can't win. But then, another voice rose inside her, softer than the aliens, but stronger. It was her memory, her mother's voice. Maria, listen. Strength doesn't mean never falling. Strength means standing up, even when it hurts, even when you're afraid. Tears stung her eyes. She had thought emotions were weakness, thought her pain would end her. But now she understood her pain was her power. Her fear kept her alive. Her love gave her courage. Her fury gave her strength. Maria wiped her tears and stood tall. Her fists began to glow again, brighter than before. Not only golden this time, but mixed with deep red and soft blue, colors swirling like fire and sky. The aliens murmured in shock. Impossible. The human grows stronger with pain. No, her emotions multiply. This is not weakness. This is something else. Maria stared at the beast towering over her and raised her fists. Her voice shook the arena. I fight not because I'm fearless. I fight because I feel. I'll never understand until you feel too, the beast roared, and swung its claws down. Maria rushed forward, sliding under its massive strike. Her glowing fists blazed like fire as she punched into its leg with all her strength. The creature staggered, roaring in pain for the first time. Maria didn't stop. She ran up its leg, using its body as a path, her fists striking again and again. Sparks exploded with each blow. She climbed higher until she reached its chest. Where its red core pulsed like a beating heart, the beast thrashed violently, trying to throw her off, but she held on tight. With one final scream, she drove both fists into the glowing core. The arena exploded with blinding light. The beast howled, its body cracking apart like broken glass. Maria leapt away just as the monster collapsed, shattering into thousands of shards that dissolved into silver smoke. Silence fell. Maria landed hard, dropping to one knee, her chest heaving. Her fists dimmed, but the fire in her eyes still burned. The aliens stood frozen outside the arena. For the first time, they're perfect. Voices trembled. She defeated it. Her emotions, they did not break her. They made her unstoppable. This is not weakness. This is strength beyond logic. The leader of the aliens stepped forward, its silver form glowing brighter than the rest. Its voice was heavy, uncertain, human. How do you keep rising, even when your body fails, even when pain tears at you? Maria looked up, her voice raw but firm. Because that's what it means to be human. We fall, we bleed, we break, but we always stand back up. Our emotions don't destroy us, they carry us through the darkest battles. The alien leader tilted its head, but emotions bring war. They bring destruction, Maria forced herself to stand, even though her legs shook. Yes. But they also bring love. They bring hope. They give us something worth fighting for. That's why you'll never understand us. You can't feel it. The leader was silent for a long moment. The arena pulsed around them, as if the alien ship itself was listening. Then the leader spoke again, softer this time. Perhaps we were wrong. But before Maria could answer, the walls of the arena shook violently. The floor cracked, sending ripples of silver light through the air. The other aliens turned in confusion. What is happening? The field, it is unstable. Maria's fist glowed faintly again. She looked around, her instincts telling her something worse was coming, something even the aliens had not expected. Her breath caught. This isn't over. And as the walls of the arena split open, a new shadow began to rise, something larger than the beast she had just defeated. The arena cracked open like broken glass. Silver fragments floated upward, dissolving into mist. Beyond the walls, a dark shape stretched higher and higher, too vast to be fully seen. The aliens, once calm and proud, suddenly wavered. Their voices shook. This should not be here. The field has awakened something we did not create. It responds to her emotions. Maria's chest tightened. She had thought the beast was their final test, but now something far worse was coming. A shadow larger than mountains loomed in the glowing sky above. Its body was not solid, but shifting like storm clouds mixed with fire. Every breath it took made the air tremble. Its eyes opened like suns, blazing with light so bright Maria shielded her face. The alien leader's voice broke the silence. This entity is not ours. It is born of the field itself. Your emotions have summoned it. Maria staggered back. Me? No, that's impossible. But deep inside, she knew the truth. The arena was not just a test, it was alive. It reacted to her feelings, feeding on them, shaping monsters from her fear, her fury, her hope. And now, it had created something beyond her control. The giant shadow roared. The sound was not like any beast. It was deeper, darker, a vibration. That made Maria's bones ache and her vision blur. The aliens stumbled, their glowing forms flickering. We cannot contain it. It feeds on her emotions and ours. If it grows, it will consume everything. Maria's fists glowed. Weakly, her strength fading after the last battle. She stared up at the towering shadow, fear gripping her chest like icy chains. How can I fight something like that? She whispered. The alien leader turned toward her, its silver body dimming. Human, this is beyond a test. If you cannot control it, both you and we will be destroyed. Maria's breath shook. Control it? I don't even understand it. The leader's voice echoed softly in her mind. It is you, a reflection of your deepest emotions. Your fear, your rage, your sorrow, they have taken form. If you let fear rule you, it will devour you. But if you master it, the alien paused. Then perhaps it will obey. The shadow roared again, shaking the entire arena. Fragments of silver rained down like ash. Maria dropped to her knees, pressing her hands against the floor. Her heart raced, her body screamed to run, but there was nowhere to escape. She closed her eyes. Images flashed through her mind. Oh, her childhood. Her mother's warm smile. Her father's laughter. Friends who believed in her, strangers on the street, the countless faces of humanity, people who loved, who suffered, who dreamed. Her tears fell. This monster, it's my fear, my anger. But if emotions can give me strength, then maybe even fear can be turned into something else. She stood, slowly, her legs trembling but unbroken. Her fists glowed again, brighter this time. It's not only gold or red, but a rainbow of colors swirling together. Hope, pain, joy, fury, all burning as one. Maria raised her voice, shouting into the storm of the shadow's roar. You are me. You're not my enemy. You're my feelings, my fear, my rage. I won't let you control me. The shadow paused. Its blazing eyes turned down toward her. For the first time, its roar faded into silence. The aliens watched in awe. She speaks to it. She does not fight. She commands. No one has ever done this before. Maria took a deep breath, her voice steady now. Fear is not weakness. Anger is not weakness. Even sorrow is not weakness. They are part of me, and I accept them. But I control them, not the other way around. The shadow's massive form trembled. Its blazing eyes dimmed, then shifted. The storm-like body shrank, folding in on itself, twisting smaller and smaller until the towering beast became a sphere of glowing energy. Floating before her like a living heart, Maria stepped forward and touched it with her hand. The glowing sphere pulsed warmly against her skin, then sank into her chest. Vanishing inside her, a wave of energy burst outward, shaking the arena. The cracks sealed. The silver walls steadied. The storm faded into calm light. Maria gasped, clutching her chest. She could feel the power inside her, now heavy but steady, no longer wild. Her emotions were not chains anymore. They were her fire. The aliens stood in silence. Their silver forms flickered as though they could not comprehend what they had just seen. Finally, the leader spoke, its voice softer, almost respectful. Human, you have done what we believed impossible. Did not let emotions destroy you. You mastered them. Maria breathed hard, her body aching, but she met its gaze. You were wrong about us. Emotions don't make us weak. They make us unstoppable. That's why humanity will never be broken. The leader tilted its head. Perhaps. There is more to learn from you than we imagined. But before anything more could be said, the arena shook again, this time, not from Maria. Not from the shadow, but from something else. A low rumble echoed through the walls. The ship itself trembled, as if struck by an outside force. The aliens turned sharply, their voices panicked. Something approaches. Another presence. Not of us, not of her. Impossible. Who dares enter here? Maria's eyes widened. The test was over, but a new danger was coming. And this time, it was not born of her emotions. The ground shook violently, harder than before. The silver arena walls flickered, their smooth glow cracking like glass under pressure. Maria braced herself as the floor beneath her rippled, almost collapsing. The aliens, usually calm and perfect, staggered. Their voices filled her head, but this time, there was no pride, no control, only fear. This energy, it is not hers. It comes from outside. Something is forcing its way in. Maria's breath quickened. What's happening? What's coming? The alien leader raised its shimmering form, its silver glow dimming. Not a test, not the field. This is invasion. A deafening sound split the air, like tearing metal mixed with thunder. A jagged crack opened across the arena wall, not smooth like the field's transformations, but violent, broken. A different kind of light poured in, not the silver glow of the aliens, nor the warm colors Maria had summoned. This light was cold, sharp, and hungry, like knives made of fire. From the crack, dark figures began to step through. Unlike the silver aliens, these beings were made of jagged black metal. Their bodies moved with sharp, unnatural angles. Their limbs bending wrong, their heads shaped like cruel masks with glowing red slits for eyes. They were nothing like the graceful silver beings who mocked humanity before. These creatures radiated only hunger, only destruction. The aliens' voices trembled. They are the devourers, machines without feeling. Consume, erase, leave nothing. They have found us. Maria's fists clenched. She could feel the hatred pouring out of the devourers. It was colder than anything she had faced. No mercy, no reason. Just endless hunger to destroy. The alien leader turned toward her. Human, this is beyond your trial. If they break through fully, not only you, not only us, but your entire world will be at risk. They spread like a plague. Maria stared at the crack widening in the wall. More of the devourers stepped through, their sharp feet clanging against the glowing floor, leaving black scars wherever they touched. Her chest tightened. She whispered, "So, this is what you fear." The leader's voice grew grave. "They are why we abandoned emotions. We believed feelings made us weak. But these creatures, they feel nothing. They are perfect emptiness. And emptiness devours all." Maria felt fire stir inside her again. She looked at her glowing hands. She thought of her family, her people, her world. If these things reached Earth, humanity would burn. "No," she said firmly, lifting her chin. "Emptiness is weakness, because it means you have nothing worth fighting for. I won't let them take my world." Her fists flared, light swirling around her in red, gold, and blue. Devourers hissed, their sharp limbs clattering as they moved closer. One lunged first. It was fast, faster than the silver beasts she had fought before. Its jagged claws slashed at her. Maria ducked, rolling to the side, then slammed her glowing fist into its chest. The impact burst with light, but unlike the silver beasts, the devourer did not shatter. It screeched, sparks flying, then pushed forward again, stronger than before. Maria stumbled back, her fists dimming. "You're tougher." The alien leader's voice thundered in her head, "because they are empty. There is nothing inside them to break. They are endless hunger." Another devourer leaped at her, then another. Maria swung wildly, her fists blazing, striking their jagged forms again and again. Each blow cracked their armor, but the creatures did not fall. They hissed and clawed, forcing her backward. Her chest burned, her breath heavy. She was strong, but she was only one. Then, something unexpected happened. The arena pulsed not from the aliens, not from the devourers, but from Maria herself. The light in her fist spread outward, wrapping around her body. The air shimmered, and then she felt it, not just her emotions, but the emotions of others. She felt the fear of the silver aliens. She felt their shock, their despair, their buried hope. For the first time, their voices no longer mocked. They trembled like frightened children. Maria gasped. "I can feel you. All of you." The leader froze. "You, connected to us?" Maria's eyes burned with light. "Yes, your fear, your sorrow, your doubts, they're not weakness. They're the same as ours. Yeah. And if we fight together, maybe we can win." The devourers shrieked, dozens more pouring through the crack. The arena shook as the invasion grew. Maria raised her glowing fists, but this time she was not alone. Behind her, the silver aliens lifted their arms. The first time their bodies flickered not with cold perfection, but with colors soft blue. Burning red, warm gold emotions they had tried to bury for ages. The leader's voice was steady now. "Very well, human. We will fight with you. We will feel the devourers charged." Maria screamed, charging too, her fists blazing brighter than ever. The aliens followed, their silver light burning with new fire. The clash shook the arena like thunder, and the war for survival began. The arena exploded into chaos. The devourers stormed through the widening crack like a flood of black metal, their jagged limbs clanging against the glowing floor, their red eyes burned like fire, and their shrieks pierced the air. Maria ran straight into the horde, her fists blazing with golden red light. Each punch shattered pieces of the creatures, spraying sparks across the battlefield. But for every one that fell, two more pushed forward. The aliens fought beside her, their silver forms shifting, their glowing arms striking with blasts of pure energy. Yet their movements were not perfect anymore. They were wild, uncertain, but filled with fire. For the first time, Maria saw them fight with feeling. One alien screamed not with words, but with rage as a devourer slashed through its body. Its silver form flickered, almost breaking apart, but another alien caught it, pulling it back. Maria felt it fear, pain, but also something else. Connection. She gasped as the emotions struck her like waves. "I can feel you," she whispered. The alien's fear poured into her chest, mixing with her own. But instead of crushing her, it made her burn brighter. Her fists glowed hotter, sparks flying as she slammed another devourer into the ground. The alien leader's voice rang inside her head. "Human, your power is spreading. You are pulling us into you." Maria punched another creature, sending it flying. "And hold on tight. We're not fighting alone anymore." The battle raged. Its devourers swarmed like shadows, climbing the walls, dropping from above. Maria spun, ducked, and struck with furious speed. Every time her light dimmed, she felt the alien's fear and anger surge into her, reigniting her strength. One devourer lunged from behind, its jagged claw aimed for her heart. Before Maria could turn, a silver alien stepped in front of her. Its body took the hit, the claw tearing through its chest. The alien flickered violently, falling to its knees. Maria froze, horror stabbing her chest. No, the alien looked up at her, its form breaking apart. Its voice was weak, but clear in her mind. "Do not stop, human. Feel, fight." And then it vanished, shattering into a burst of light. Maria's fists blazed with furious fire. She screamed, tears burning her eyes, and slammed her glowing hands into the devourer.
Ow.
The impact erupted like a bomb, tearing through not one, but 5 of the black creatures at once. The arena shook from the force. The aliens gasped. She grows stronger. Her emotions multiply with ours. She is turning sorrow into power. The leader's voice was sharp now, filled with urgency. "Maria, they will keep coming. You must push beyond this. Reach deeper. Find the source of your fire." Maria's chest pounded. Her fists burned so hot she could barely see her own hands. She thought of the fallen alien. She thought of her family on Earth, unaware of the danger above. She thought of the devourer's cold, empty hunger. Her voice cracked as she shouted, "You think emptiness is strength? No. Emptiness is death. It means nothing matters. And if nothing matters, why even exist?" Her fists erupted with a light so bright the devourers staggered, screeching as their black armor cracked. Maria fell to her knees, clutching her chest. The light inside her was almost too much to contain. She gasped for breath. The alien leader stepped closer, its silver body trembling. "Human, you are becoming something more. You are no longer only one. You are us. You are all of us." Maria looked up, tears streaming down her face. "Then let's end this. Together." The leader raised its arms. The other aliens followed, their silver forms glowing brighter. Their emotions surged, fear, rage, sorrow, hope, flowing into Maria. Her body shook violently, her fists blazing like suns. The devourers hesitated, their red eyes flickering as if sensing what was coming. Maria rose slowly, her feet leaving the ground. Light poured from her, filling the arena with colors no human eye had ever seen. She screamed, her voice echoing like thunder. The wave of energy burst outward, slamming into the devourers. Their black armor cracked and shattered. Hundreds of them disintegrated in a single blast, their shrieks fading into silence. When the light faded, Maria dropped back to the floor, gasping. The arena was covered in smoking fragments of broken devourers. The crack in the wall flickered, growing unstable. But before relief could settle in, more shadows began to move behind the crack. Bigger, sharper, thousands more. Maria's fists dimmed. Her whole body trembled. "No, there's too many." The alien leader's voice was grim. "The devourers never stop. They will keep coming until they consume everything. Even this victory is only a moment." Maria clenched her fists, her body shaking, but deep inside her fire refused to die. She whispered, almost to herself, "Then I'll burn until they can't. Stay in the light." The leader tilted its head. "Human, your fury may be the key. But if you open yourself fully, you may not survive." Maria looked at the swarm growing beyond the crack, her eyes fierce even through exhaustion. Then I'll die fighting. It's better than living empty. The swarm shrieked, pouring forward again. The final storm was coming. The crack tore wider, spilling endless devourers into the arena. Their jagged metal bodies swarmed like an ocean of black claws and red eyes. Each screech rattled the walls, each step scarred the glowing floor. Maria's fists flickered, her strength fading. Her breaths came heavy, each one burning her chest. But even as exhaustion pressed on her, her fire refused to die. The alien leader stepped forward, its silver body dim and shaking. Human, there are too many. Even with your fury, you cannot hold them all. Maria clenched her fists, her jaw tight. Then I'll try. If I fall, I'll fall standing. The aliens looked at her in silence. For the first time, their cold, perfect forms seemed small compared to her. She was battered, bloodied, fragile compared to their glowing bodies, yet she stood taller than all of them. The leader's voice trembled. Why? Why fight when the end is certain? Maria's eyes burned with fire, because people I love are out there. Because life means something. Because even if I lose, I want them to know I never gave up. The words shook the aliens more than the battle. Their silver forms flickered, not from damage, but from something deeper understanding. The devourers surged forward. Dozens leaped at once, their claws cutting through the air. Maria screamed and charged, her fists blazing again. She struck. She spun. She fought with every last shred of strength. Each punch cracked black armor. Each strike burst with light. But there were too many. A claw slashed across her arm. Another slammed into her back, throwing her to the ground. Maria groaned, blood trickling down her skin. Her fists flickered weakly, almost fading out. The aliens shouted in her mind. Maria, get up! You cannot stop! You must not fall. Maria pressed her fists to the ground, trying to rise, but her body refused. For the first time she felt the shadow of failure creeping close. And then she felt them not, the devourers, not fear, not emptiness. The aliens, their emotions, they were pouring into her fear.
Anger, sorrow.
But also something new. Respect, hope, belief. The alien leader's voice was steady now. You showed us our mistake. Emotions are not weakness. They are the greatest force in this universe. We give them to you now. Take all of us. Maria gasped as a surge of energy blasted through her body. The light in her chest exploded outward, brighter than ever before. Her wounds burned, but the fire inside her roared higher. Refusing to die. Slowly she stood. Her fists blazed with light so fierce the devourers stumbled back. Not gold, not red, not blue, but all colors at once, swirling into something pure. Something alive. The aliens fell to their knees, their silver forms trembling. She has become more than human. She carries all of us inside her. She is fury given form. Maria raised her glowing fists, her voice thundering across the arena. You thought emptiness was power? But emptiness is nothing. Feelings are everything. They give us love, rage, sorrow, and hope, and together, they make us unstoppable. The swarm roared, charging at once. Thousands of devourers crashing forward. Maria charged too. Her fists struck the first wave, and the explosion lit up the arena like a sun. Dozens of devourers shattered in a single strike. She spun, her glowing body slicing through the horde like a storm of light. Every punch, every kick was an eruption, tearing through black armor. The devourers shrieked, but they could not stop. She was no longer just one fighter, she was an army of emotions. Every alien's sorrow burned in her strikes. Every alien's hope fueled her strength. Every alien's fear sharpened her fury. The leader's voice echoed in awe. She is the proof. Humanity is not fragile. Humanity is the storm, Maria roared, driving her fists into the ground. A shockwave burst outward, a tidal wave of light. Crashing into the swarm, the devourers screamed as their bodies cracked and dissolved into dust. The crack in the wall shook violently, trembling under the force of her fury. but still, more shadows loomed beyond it, pressing to break through. The endless swarm. Maria dropped to one knee, gasping, her fists still glowing faintly. Sweat dripped down her face, blood streaked her skin, but her fire refused to fade. The alien leader spoke in her mind, quiet but heavy. "Maria, if you burn brighter, you may destroy them all, but you will not survive it." Maria lifted her head, her eyes blazing with unyielding light. "And I'll burn as long as I have to, because I'd rather die feeling everything than live empty." The devourer screeched again, preparing to surge. Maria rose slowly, her fists trembling but bright. She whispered, almost to herself, "One last fight." And as the swarm rushed forward, she charged into them, her fury blazing like a star about to explode. The devourer swarmed like an endless tide, black metal and burning red eyes crashing against Maria like a storm of knives. The crack in the wall had become a gate, wide and jagged, spilling thousands more into the arena. The air shook with their shrieks, the ground split under their weight. Maria stood alone at the center, her fists glowing faintly, her body trembling. She was bruised, bleeding, exhausted beyond limits. Yet her eyes burned with unbroken fire. The alien leader's voice pressed into her mind. "Maria, there are too many. If you unleash everything, you may destroy them. The fire will consume you too." Maria looked at her glowing fists, then at the silver aliens kneeling behind her. They were watching her not as test subjects, not as judges, but as believers. They believed in her. She closed her eyes, feeling the emotions within her chest. Her own anger, her fear, her sorrow. But also their emotions, their despair, their buried hope, their fragile courage. All of it burned together inside her, not chaos, but harmony. Her voice was steady, though soft. "If I fall, I want to fall knowing I saved someone. That's what being human means." The aliens whispered among themselves. "She accepts death, yet she stands. Her fire is beyond our understanding. She is what we could never be." The devourers shrieked and charged. Thousands of claws struck down at once. Maria's fists erupted with light. This time it wasn't just gold, red, or blue. It wasn't even all colors at once. It was something greater, pure, light, brighter than any star. It spread across her entire body until she was no longer flesh and blood, but a blazing figure. A living flame. The devourers slammed into her, but instead of tearing her apart, they shattered on contact, bursting into dust the instant they touched. "Her fire," Maria roared, her voice shaking the entire arena. "I am human, and I feel everything. Da!" She charged forward, not striking one enemy at a time, but exploding through them like a storm given life. Each step shattered dozens. Each scream unleashed shockwaves that tore through hundreds. The swarm collapsed under her fury, wave after wave dissolving into ash. The gate itself began to tremble, cracks spreading across its jagged surface. The devourers screeched in panic. Clawing against the light that devoured them, Maria rose higher, her blazing form lifting into the air. She spread her arms wide, pulling every ounce of emotion from within herself. From the aliens around her, from the memory of her people back. On Earth, love, rage, sorrow, hope, all of it fused into one final blaze. Her voice thundered across the battlefield. "This is humanity's truth. We burn because we care. We rise because we fall. And no emptiness will ever erase us." She threw her glowing fists forward. The arena exploded in a storm of pure light. The devourers screamed as their black armor cracked, shattered, dissolved. The endless tide crumbled into nothing, erased in the brilliance of her fury. The gate itself collapsed, imploding into a single point of darkness before vanishing forever. The light spread far beyond the arena, sweeping through the alien ship, through the void, through everything. And then silence. Maria dropped to the ground, her blazing form fading. She fell to her knees, gasping for breath, her body weak and broken. The fire inside her dimmed to embers. The aliens approached slowly, their silver forms glowing faint but steady. None of them spoke at first. They simply looked at her, their perfect faces reflecting something new, something they had never shown before. Emotion. Finally, the leader stepped forward. His voice was quiet, reverent. Maria, you have shown us what we could not understand. You prove that feelings are not weakness. They're the source of strength itself. Maria smiled faintly, though her lips trembled. You see it now, don't you? You can't be alive without emotions. The leader bowed its head. We mocked. Humanity, we thought you broken. But now we see. You are stronger than us, stronger than anything we have known. Humanity is not fragile. Humanity is fire. Maria's eyes closed for a moment. She was so tired, her body begging to rest. But she forced them open, whispering then, promise. Me something. The aliens leaned closer. Anything. Protect my people. If those things come again, don't let Earth face them alone. The leader bowed deeper, its silver body glowing brighter. You have our vow. Humanity will never stand alone again. Maria's body wavered, her vision blurring. For a moment she thought she would fade into the darkness. But then, a warmth spread through her, soft and steady. The aliens were giving their energy back to her. Not to use as a weapon, but to heal. To keep her alive, her fire steadied. It's no longer burning wildly, but glowing gently inside her chest. The leader spoke one final time. Rest now, Maria. Your fury has changed us all. The universe will never forget what one human showed us, that feelings are not weakness, but the greatest truth. Maria closed her eyes, a faint smile on her lips, and for the first time, the aliens felt something they had never felt before. Hope.